the North, and also the Secretary General of Lango Parliamentary Group. And I sit here today representing 30 members of Parliament of Lango in regard to the issues related to AFCON. I have a written submission. I'm going to give the highlights, but it's all in reaction to what has been presented on the budget framework paper. The permanent
As Minister of Education and Sports presented their budget framework of 2024-2025, MPs from Lango sub-region were subjected to surprise when they discovered that the Akii Bua stadium that Uganda used in a bid of 2017 Africa Cup of Nations was not included in the budget framework paper. This one did not only surprise the MPs who came to attend the committee meeting of Parliament, but it also surprised them and got them go home with bad news, as Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education, say that the stadium has no any financial allocation as of this year. In her explanation, she continued and say that this came because the other one is a presidential pledge. However, Honorable Samuel Acuti said that what this lady was saying, Permanent Secretary, was wrong because it was used even in the bid of Pamoja Africa Cup of Nations.
Construct Akii Bua to host AFCON. I am not stating anything outside what government has stated.
Honorable Samuel Acuti says that Uganda used Akii Bua Stadium and also Gahinga Stadium as one of those stadiums that they will develop for use in 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. As she was still explaining why they've not allocated any money, since the budget of education has remained like the way it was in 2023-2024 budget. However, MPs from the Lango sub-region have also called upon government to make sure that they can allocate money for this stadium. If they don't, they may have to face it in the coming elections. Chairperson of the committee, Honorable John, say that it's also true that on the floor of Parliament, Honorable Peter Ogwanga came out and promised that they are going to build Akii Bua Stadium, Gahinga Stadium, or one in Hoima, but Akii Bua could not miss. The MPs were left on shock, but promised to keep pushing for the stadium.
But also they claim that they looked at there is no international airport in Lira. There is also no international airport in Kampala. We are relying on the one in Entebbe, which is in Wakiso district. Yes. And in the same vein, we are relying on the one in Kulu, a military air base which can handle a bombardier of Uganda Airlines on it. So whatever that is they are stating is contrary to what was presented on the floor of Parliament. And I'm surprised that there is a change in government position in less than 3 months when it was presented on the floor of Parliament. So I think we need to understand that we're not about the plane. We're about the government position on AFCON.
Just give information on how people access the payroll. The verification that is done by the Ministry of Public Service is through an interface between the national identification number and the person's ID to authenticate the nationality of the person, nationality and physical matching of the person who is there. The others we use hard papers, appointment letters. Now, where we want to take this a notch higher is to get a physical link between the appointment minutes and our systems. When we have that integration is when we'll be able to ascertain whether the minute is fake or not. Honorable Chair, what is on the ground is that in some instances, people have bribed to get positions. Others, even who haven't bribed, are very innocent, but maybe their relative is helping them, so they erase the name of the other person or give a minute, and then they will give a relative a position. So some people actually genuinely get shocked that they are being told their appointment minute is fake. So there are a number of intricacies in that process. The cure is to get a link. that we have a system that where this minute has been endorsed, it is on the system, so someone simply taps the link and sees whether it's genuine or not. And that is where we are heading with the integration of systems. Because AFCON's facilities were determined using parameters from CAF. It is a requirement by the Confederation of African Football, CAF, African, yes, that for any venue to be considered for AFCON, there must be an international airport. And Hoima was chosen because there is already Kabalega Airport. That is what informed that. If we are to go to Akii Bua, there should have been an international stadium. Sorry, airport. So that is what informed the AFCON locations. However, we just need to inform members that Akii Bua Stadium will be constructed because it's a presidential pledge.
Clarification.
Honorable members, the PS was clear. She's talking of Akii Bua and Muhinga. So
calling every Ugandan of school-going age access quality education and sports. We are very committed as a government within the means, within the resources available, to make sure that all the dilapidated schools, primary, secondary, and universities are rehabilitated, are going to be rehabilitated. We are committed that even new ones are going to be built. At least a primary school per valley, secondary school per sub-county, a technical school, as we have been saying. We are committed as a government. We are committed to make sure to see that there are enough teachers qualified to handle our children. With the laboratories, needed libraries, all of you, we are really committed, and we pray that we will reach there. Chair, I want to ask two things. One, some of these details you have asked, we shall go back and submit them in writing.
The Honourable Minister's presentation, which was read out by the Permanent Secretary, informed us that one of the unfunded priorities is construction of two most needed stadiums for hosting AFCON 2027. I'm surprised that he did not mention the two most required stadia. However, in relation to that, I want to bring to the attention of this House that on the 3rd of October 2023, Parliament paid a tribute to Uganda for successfully winning the bid to host AFCON 2027. In that motion, the Minister of Education was represented by Honorable Peter Guang, read out the official government position as far as AFCON is concerned. And they read out 6 commitments which they had made to CAF as far as AFCON is concerned. Commitment number 4, which I want to read out, was construction of 2 additional stadia to host the AFCON. Akii Bua Stadium in Lira and Muhinga Stadium in Fort Houghton, or Hoima City Stadium. I have a copy of this official government position, and this was also captured from page 10267 of the Hansard of Parliament. We also have a copy of the CAF bid that was submitted, and under the executive summary, item 5, it read out that in addition to Mandela National Stadium in Kampala, the government in Uganda is committed to constructing 2 new stadiums in Hoima and Lira, named Fuma Stadium and Akii Bua Stadium respectively. The construction for the new stadiums, with an estimated seating capacity of 30,000 people each, is scheduled to begin in August 2023 and will be ready for use in the AFCON 2027.
Yeah, what is the key issue?
So the issue that I'm raising is that the government position is not to construct the most needed 2 additional stadiums. It is to construct a Akii Bua Stadium at either Hoima or Fort Houghton Stadium. I wanted that to be clarified. But at the same time, Honorable Chair, this issue I need to bring to your attention is that there have been a lot of media information coming out with an official government position contrary to the official government position itself. And what we want as Lango Parliamentary Group is that the budget for 2024-2025 should have a budget for the construction of Akii Bua Stadium to host AFCON 2027. That is the issue that I'm raising. It has become a political issue with a lot of connotation. It is not just a hot issue, it is a volcanic issue. And we really want it to be addressed. The people of Lango, when they are happy, they sing. But when they are also annoyed and angry, they also sing songs. Songs have been sung in relation to this because of the attempted change in the government position. In fact, what they say, and they keep using analogy, that in 2026 we are going to uproot a sunflower plant. You know that sunflower is here in Italy. With the next connotation. So I want to raise it, that it's a very pertinent issue, and I want to appeal to the committee and the ministry. Let us honor the official position that was read out on the floor of Parliament on 3rd of October 2026, and have a budget for people provided for 2024-2025. Thank you.
East African Pamoja bid, when they were using Akii Bua's name to bid for this AFCON, were they aware that Akii Bua or Lango sub-region doesn't have an international airport? Were they aware about the requirement of AFCON? Because I know it's not the first time Uganda was participating in AFCON competition, meaning that even if it's the first time we are going to host, these people cannot tell us and convince us that they were not aware about the requirements to host AFCON. And their statements are uncoordinated. National Council of Sport is saying 50 kilometers away from the stadium, that's the distance. FUFA is saying 100 kilometers away from the stadium. Now, what does it mean? Now today, the PS is saying that they cannot host the stadium because of financial constraint and other things. And I was told we don't have, if we want Akii Bua Stadium construction, we should have an international airport. What is this international airport being talked about? Do they know the magnitude of a statement of an international airport? We travel. If you go to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, the tunnel they are talking of is almost the size of this house. Would Uganda fail to do this? We have Soroti. If you're flying on here, even the signal will show you that you are what? Approaching Soroti what? Airport. Now, upgrading Soroti Airport, was it a problem? It's tarmac to Akii Bua Stadium. If we see Gulu Airfield, how can it not host stadium? Yet it's keeping bombardiers, all the big military aircrafts. Isn't that an excuse to deny us, the people of Lango, what we are supposed? I want to ask the people handling government matters, please have a national character. Don't use excuse to deny the rest of this country the services this government has to give. And I'm talking because I am bitter, I am NRM. I campaign, proving to my people that this is the best government. But this technicality is always on issues of northern Uganda. If this stadium was constructed, it was going to help the greater north. Why don't we share this? Why don't we share the national cake together? Now, the president gave a directive. If you see in the budget framework paper, today they're saying it's under unfunded priority. Yet we had opportunity for Chinese government to fund the construction, they frustrated it. Now, when will Uganda get government to construct Akii Bua? And when will Lango have an international